This is the absolute tier 3 list. If you wanna go through PVE, PVP, the books are really important. Hello gang, welcome to the channel, and today we're gonna go back to back in another video on tiremaker.com, and this time it's about the tier 3 characters. All the characters that they are tier 3, they can't go tier 4, and how you should prioritizing building them depending on the game modes that you wanna focus on. I have these rows, you know, it's like ABX, ABL meta, the characters that you're gonna need for ABX and ABL, for support, leadership, and all this stuff. Of course, yes, something I just forget to mention, smash the like button, guys, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below in the comments your opinion about my list, the previous list I did about the tier 4 characters. Of course, the tier 4 characters, as I mentioned, it's the meta for the game. All the game modes, you need tier 4 characters if you want to play into the max level. So in the previous list is about the tier 4 characters. Thank you a lot about all the support in the previous video, and that's why I dropped that, and I'm planning to drop Awaken and tier 2 tier lists also. So let's start from somewhere, and let's start for explaining the lists. As I told you, the first list is the character from tier 3 that you actually need if you wanna go into all the days of ABX and ABL. I'm gonna drop all the leaderships and all the supports because the main damage dealers are the tier 4s, as I mentioned. Alliance Conquest META characters. There are some characters that they are really good for PvP from the tier 3 characters, and I'm gonna mention if you actually need their of course, for all the characters you need the last uniforms, but I'm gonna mention if you need the artifact for Alliance Conquest. Other than that, we're gonna go through PvE supports, PvP supports, and in the end the Shadowland. It's the bottom thing that, you know, someone should use a character, Shadowland or Alliance Conquest as a B team or something. So let's start from somewhere, and let's start from the game mode I know the most, which is ABL and ABX. I'm gonna drop there all the ABX and ABL metas that I feel like without them you can't actually go through the game and to participate into a very high level. Of course, all of these characters have paywall uniform, have support, seasonal uniforms, but that's something like it's not my fault, and I can't really change this thing. It is how it is in these days, and yes, I'm just gonna prioritize the characters here, and I'm gonna tell you the reason I believe, you know, this specific character you should prioritizing over others. Taskmaster is really important. One of the most important, actually, it's White Fox. White Fox is one of the most important characters that you need for supporting Luna Snow. And because, as I told you in the previous video, Luna Snow, it's one of the most important characters in ABL and ABX meta right now. So the character that supports here the most is Fox through her passive ability that gives extra damage into the leadership characters, and also some extra chain hit through her uniform. So it's big row, so I'm gonna try to put them in a line. After here, after White Fox, I put Taskmaster because Taskmaster, guys, it's usable with Dr. Octopus. He's human, he is combat, and he is a villain, so you can use him on multiple days for ABX and ABL. After that, characters like Proxima is really useful with her uniform. She's becoming one of the best supports for ABL and ABX because you can use her for female villain, you can use her for alien villain. She is all over the requirements of ABL and ABX. So she is really hot, and you need her if you want to proceed even more into the game. After that, the leadership you are using for Luna Snow, it's Suri. So Suri and Nick Fury, depending on which day is, if it's the day that you need, that you can use female characters or male characters. Of course, there is also Misty Knight, but she's a tier 2 character. We're gonna go through here on another video. but at the moment these are really important. The next more important character is Polaris. Polaris providing buff on both ABL days, and you need here 100% if you wanna go into 12 million with Cable, into 11 million with Rogue or something like this, you know. After that, we're going into Green Goblin, that, to be honest, he's not that useful. He is, but there is others better. But generally speaking, with his last uniform, he's a really good damage dealer, and he's free to play, and he totally worth get a build from everyone in the game. He has his own day that he can participate instead of Mystique tier 4 or level 80. So yeah, he is a support, but a damage dealer also. Enchantress with her last uniform, she is a solid support that can provide you support for the Blast Villain days of Magneto. But because it's only for one blast, it's for the 2 blast villain, and it's not also like it is Touch Master for multiple days of Dr. Octopus. With Magneto, it's not exactly the same, it's for less day, that's why I'm putting him, you know, less than the other. After that, Morgan Le Fay with her paywall uniform, she is a really must-have if you wanna go into the very high ranks of ABL and ABX. She's providing a solid 70%, it's like 35% damage against boss and 35% increased damage on all universals or something like this. And she is, you need here for multiple days, you know, supporting Jean Grey mostly, but others too. Cold Zone is one of the best and most solid supports to use for your Luna Snow in the no restriction day and for multiple other reasons. So in my opinion, you know, perhaps he is in front. He's something like this. Cold Zone, from the day he took this uniform, he can support villains also, so you can use him with Magneto, you can use him with Luna for the no restrictions day. He is super solid and really cool character to go for. The only other support that you need for this game mode is Scene. There's literally no one else that you need to go and perform on ABX and ABL. It's 3, 6, 12, 3, 6, 9, 11 actually. It's 11 characters tier 3 that you need. Of course, there is paywall uniforms, there is, you know, seasonal uniforms. Yeah, it's not my fault. So, yeah, it is what it is. But this only 11 tier 3s is all you need for your ABX and ABL to perform. It's like 12 the tier 4s. So, in total, we're talking about 24 characters at the moment with 2 tier lists if you want to go in the top of ABL, ABX. And of course there are tier 2s and Awakens, so stay tuned to see the whole set of characters. So let's jump into the PvP and let's go into Alliance Conquest Meta characters. Alliance Conquest Meta characters, and that doesn't mean that you can't use the character for timeline battle, but as I told you yesterday, for timeline battle and for the very high end, everyone is using tier 4s. So I can't include, you know, these as top meta characters for PvP because they are good, really good, but the main use for them right now it's Alliance Conquest. And in Alliance Conquest they're doing really nice. It's characters like Doctor Doom, Gore, characters like Null is really good, you know, Immortality, Revive. It's a pattern that it's really easy to understand. The characters that have Immortality or Revive are the characters that you're gonna see all over the place. Emma Frost also has a really good reflect for Alliance Conquest. You can see characters burned down from it. And this ranking here and this ranking here I have, it's the way I actually believe you should have the characters, you know, the way that I actually believe you should build the characters. So yeah, I believe like Kang is the best here from all of them. After is Gore, after is Sentry, Doctor Doom, and let's progress through to see who else it's really good. Yeah, Magic is like here. Magic is crazy, guys. If you don't know about Magic being meta in Alliance Conquest, she is so hot. She is so hot, but Strife is even hotter. Strife is around here. The dude has no revive, no immortality, but he is crazy good. He is crazy good. Molkelman here, it's the only dude that can strip all the buffs the enemy have, except the leadership for removal debuff. The rest are going off. Everything that adds stats like extra HP, extra damage, extra defenses, he removes them from the enemy, but from your own team also. Other characters really good for Alliance Conquest, I would say Sabretooth also. Sabretooth is in the level of magic. See, he took a really nice rework, and with his artifact, you know, these characters, 1, 2, absolute need the artifact. This dude has the immortality, the rest have the revive. All here have revive except Strife and Emma. So the characters that you are going to pick up to use on Alliance Conquest, you want to prioritize having these features, you know, the immortality and the revive. Another revive, it's Mephisto. Mephisto can do great job and great work, but to be honest, you know, he's not that strong. Another character that has revive, it's Dormammu, but he is good, but not that good. Oh, I almost forget Silver Surfer, that perhaps he's going to get a leadership also. Wenwu also is one of the best characters right now without revive and all this stuff, you know. His leadership is out of your mind, and if you see here the pattern, all of these characters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a passive, of course, 6, 7, 8. 8 character out of 14, it's like more than 50% have the leadership for PvP. The leadership for PvP is the one that says removes all debuff. If you don't use that, you're absolute, you know, busted. You're not gonna see any progress on your PvP. And the rest of the characters are really cool, but I could not say that anyone is meta. I could say Blue Marvel also, Shang-Chi. Yeah, this is like B tier, but they are really strong also. They're really strong characters to use. These 4, I'm using them in the main teams I'm using for Alliance Conquest, but in the same time, it's not like they are mind-blowing or like you're gonna see huge things from them. So that's, I feel like it's the Alliance Conquest meta right now. I have only the characters that actually do damage, can survive, can kill themselves. If you support these characters, they can do really nice. And let's go into the PvE supports that left and can be used for various content. But yeah, let's start from somewhere. Actually, Rocket Raccoon, it's kind of bad support, but still is a support character. With his last uniform, he is supporting, so yeah. What else I could add here? Jane Foster, it's a support for all the characters that has the electricity tag. It's like, I'm not, Shock tag actually, it's Shock tag, it's Thor and few other, I think, Storm also, but it's only a few characters that she can support, but the support buff she has, it's really nice. She-Hulk is one of the most, it's one of the best leaderships to use for World Boss Legend, except Jean Grey. It's really good against all the World Boss Legend, but all that is not female, it's against all the male. And this, you have to use, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy to get this buff, the maximum buff here. Other than that, I mean, if the character is not, okay, this is here, these characters are not actually supports, they are also leaderships, but I want to include them just to know yourself that you can actually use them. Havoc is a thing by himself, actually. He has a solid leadership, but he is really good also as a tier 3 character. I totally suggest this character for new players that just bought the quest, you know, invest on him. He's gonna bring you some really good damage even without uniform. Because all of these characters I'm telling you guys here, except let's say Kang and Mephisto and actually the native tier 2 characters, But yeah, it's not the canon because yeah, Doom has okay. Some of the characters, as you can see, don't need the uniform because they don't have any, but the characters that have a uniform, you need to use the uniforms. And Havoc doesn't need a uniform to perform really nice, so keeping him in mind that he can provide you really solid buffs. Other than that, I don't feel like there is anything to add here. I could add Wong also. Yes, Wong is for the magic characters, a really good support, but he's also for PvP because he can give support to Doctor Doom, Magic, and Doctor Strange, and also he can provide support to your Adam Warlock for PvP. So yeah, it's like weird situation. Also, this Spider-Man has a PvE support for Spider-Man and all the Spider-Verse characters. I can't remember what the percentage of the damage and all this stuff, but he's really solid. Other than that, let's go to PvP supports, and yeah, it's a small category to go, to be honest. It's like green. Yeah, there's not a lot of them because most of them are awakened characters. I could add this too because he's doing some heals. Okay, this is a solid support also, but he's not good by himself. So we can, we can add Ebony Maw. Ebony Maw has the advantage to give you buffs against heroes and villains only if they are universal. If I'm not remembering 100% right. And let's go fast forward into the Shadowlanders and see how this looks like. To be honest, Daredevil could be used for Alliance Conquest. Yeah, generally, these characters are used, in Alliance Conquest, but nothing close to these characters of the Alliance Conquest. The top ones, the one that I have here in the top, there is no, they are the meta. If you don't have them, you can't go into the very high Alliance Conquest ranks and stuff like that. So yeah, let's go into the Shadowlanders here. Let's fill up this and let's see if there is any other buff that I actually forget to mention on the others. Hawkeye is really solid also, but I can't say that he's meta. Wanda is solid also. This girl is actually cool, but she's mediocre on everything. Falcon, really good for Alliance Conquest. Hyperion, Omega Red, Gwen with Deadpool, if you use his leadership and here as a support. Thena, sadly, she's good for Alliance, for Shadowland only. All these characters can do really nice Shadowland, but for the rest, I mean, yeah, you could argue that Blade is a leadership for Weapon Masters, but yeah, it's kind of a long shot, and yes, these kind of supports are super outdated, Apocalypse has a 25% support buff, who cares, MODOK has a 45% buff, who cares? Winter Soldier also outdated. All these characters have actually no use in my account except Alliance Conquest, but as B team or something. And yeah, you're not gonna play anything else than Shadowland after a while, after a while when you're gonna start having the level 80s and the tier 4s, there's no value for you go through that. So I'm gonna go with Wong as PvP support. I add one here and let's see if I could go and add a buffer here. No, to be honest, no. Yeah, this is my list, guys. This is my list. That was 67 or 66 characters. And you can see they are a lot of characters, but still it's not undoable. If you want to focus on something specific, as it is ABL or ABX, you can see it's only 11 dudes here that you can go and you have to build. For the rest of the game, PV supports these characters, you know what? You can live without them. You don't need any one of these if you have already this, to be honest. These ABL and ABX meta characters can carry you through World Boss Legend, GBR. They are the #1 supports in the game, and that's why people using them also in ABL and ABX. The rest of the characters here, you know, are like B tier on supporting, or they have really weird tags that you can use only with specific characters. Here, they are good for PvP, supporting as a third character. You know, if you already have a leadership from this, you can put a support here and a damage dealer and have some great results on Alliance Conquest. That's my point of view on the tier 3, all the tier 3 characters that can't go tier 4, because of course you could say, you know what, level 80 Iron Man or Iron Man level 70 is really good, but yeah, that's not the point on the list, guys. It's the point of the list, it's to make you focusing on which characters you need to build next. Of course, as I told you from the start, in the beginning, in the middle, whatever, all of these characters need their last uniform, and there is only few exceptions, like let's say She-Hulk doesn't need her last uniform to support, and there is some others. Drop me a DM, ask me in my social media, I'm here to help. I'm making these videos to help you decide what to build next, you know that already. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know your opinion down below in the comments, and smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so I know you are out there and you want to learn more about this game we love, and I'm gonna drop more content on Marvel Future Fight. See you into the next. I hope I helped you. Kisses in your faces.